In this video, we're going to talk about right-handed pitcher Chase Dollander, a right-handed pitcher from the Tennessee Volunteers, and he's going to be going high in the 2023 MLB Draft, and we're going to talk about him in this video starting right now. On July 9th to July 11th of 2023, we're going to have the MLB Amateur Draft, and a lot of young players are getting excited because they're going to get drafted. Maybe some of them are going to go number one to some team, or somewhere down 20th round. That's how many rounds we're going to have this year. But one of the players that's going to be going very high in the draft is Chase Dollander, a right-hander that pitches for the Tennessee Volunteers. I'm going to read you an interesting kind of scouting report on him. Thousands of pages of notes, millions of radar gun readings, stopwatches wearing down after decades of clicks, more airline miles than any of them care to admit. Most amateur scouts have seen too many players to count, but they remember the unicorns. John Gray, Aaron Nola, Jared Cole, and Trevor Bauer. These are the names that come up most often when pressing evaluators who the most impressive college arms they've ever seen is. At least since 2010, that is. Stephen Strasburg in 2009 is a pillar that stands alone for most scouts, but 2023 may provide a pillar of its own. Yes, a story like this preceding a player's draft eligible year is dangerous. Much can change, but the opinions coming out of Major League front offices right now are so loud that they're impossible to ignore. Tennessee right-hander Chase Dollander might represent the best college arm available in any draft since Strasburg. Armed with a fastball approaching triple digits, arguably the best slider in the class, and now the weaponization of a curveball and changeup, Dollander has big league stuff right now, and there's more coming. But we'll get to that. A bit of a late bloomer out of Greenbrier High School in Evans, Georgia, he wasn't always the arm he is today. His senior year, Dollander was clocked up to 90 miles per hour on occasion, but generally at 89 to 91. He flashed a promising breaking ball, but it was inconsistent both in shape and execution. That said, scouts that saw him gushed about the athleticism and what it could become. Asked about Dollander's high school days, one National League national cross-checker slumped in his chair, dropping his head. His manner changed, eventually looking back at me with a bothered grin. I watched him. We didn't pull the trigger. I had a dollar figure on him. We could have had him. Now we have no shot. The then 6'3", 180-pound righty held very few offers and elected to enroll at Georgia Southern for the 21 freshman campaign. Being provided proper collegiate coaching and a plan in the weight room, his game exploded. At age 19, he was sitting 93 to 95, touching 97 for the Eagles, who ended up throwing 49 innings that year, punching out 64 hitters. The back of his baseball card was held back a bit by walks, 28 of them to be exact. He admitted he tried to get cute with his stuff instead of challenging opposing hitters. But when Dollander was in the zone, he'd flash brilliance. Georgia Southern opened their 21 campaign against the University of Tennessee. The Volunteers took the first two games of the series and were slated to pitch a talented freshman by the name of Blade Tidwell, who's now a farmhand in the Met farm system. On Sunday, Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello felt good about their chances. Dollander would go 5 2/3 innings, punching out 8, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits, while Tennessee squeaked out a 5-3 win after getting into the Eagles' bullpen. That game would eventually end up paying major dividends for the volunteer program. Dollander transformed his body at Georgia Southern. Now a 200-pound horse, he entered the transfer portal and was receiving immense interest from programs all over the country. New NCAA rules allowed him to transfer and become eligible immediately for 22. It came down to Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas Tech. Tell said his program was late to the party, and by a stroke of luck, ended up a finalist for the talented righty. Going to skip over some other things, but interestingly enough, he's going to go very high in this draft. Let me continue on with this article a little bit, though. Dollander has hardly had to use anything but his fastball slider combo to this point in his college career. He threw the curveball just 6% of the time in 22, and you can count the number of changeups he threw on one hand. Both of those pitches have been a massive point of emphasis in his development this summer, and both have flashed during fall ball. Scouts have been on hand to take things in, and the reports are loud. Quote, "It's freaky, scaring him to throw out, but there's some DeGrom," one American League evaluator said. "It's so early, but he's 1-1 for me, and that's from someone who hates taking pitching early." A rival executive echoed those words. It's something between Cole and Strasburg at this point, at the same stage. I think of 2010 Cole, the way he moves, the athlete, the trajectory, the track record, they don't move like that with that stuff, polish, pitchability, and strike throwing ability. Another NL cross-checker agreed. Cole, great bow, yeah, it's that bucket, you got it. Elite stuff, power body, power stuff, powder slider. He looks like that guy we're watching right now. We were watching Nolakarov through the Braves in the NLDS. After speaking with several scouting directors, cross-checkers, and analysts, virtually every single one of them agreed Dollander is one of the best college pitchers they've seen in the last 15 years. Cole, Strasburg, and Dollander. That seems to be the short list. Time will tell if those lofty comparisons hold water, but this is where we are. With scouts and front office executives, the draft lottery throws a new wrinkle into Dollander sweepstakes. He's not going to go number one. In a normal traditional year, the Nationals and Athletics would know they're picking, but the Pirates have the number one pick this year. Now, MLB.com put out a mock list of the players that are going to get drafted in the 2023 MLB draft. And Jim Callis and Jonathan Mayo have different thoughts on where Chase Dollander is going to go. At number 6, the talk is that he's either going to go number 6 or number 9 in this draft. Callis says this about Dollander, and he's predicting that Dollander is going to get picked by the Athletics. Dollander has just been inconsistent this year. You still see the good stuff, but it seems like he has an inning where he falters and he gives up a couple of runs. I don't think the command has been as sharp. I don't think the stuff has been quite as consistent. But you're still talking about a guy who has multiple pitches and plus command, and he's athletic and the delivery is good, and there's a track record of performing in the SEC. Now, Jonathan Mayo says this. He says that Chase Dollander is going to go... No, I don't have a thing on him. But he says that Dollander is going to go 9th to the Rockies. So his stock has really dropped. I mean, what I read to you previously was from a few months ago, his scouting report. But there's a good chance that Dollander might even drop to 10th in this draft. I mean, just looking at it, because he hasn't pitched well. But you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut too. We'll have more players. The next player on this list will be shortstop Jacob Wilson from Grand Canyon. So you let me know what you think, and I'll see you later.